Chapter 19. Not receiving merit and virtue is receiving them.
Subhuti. How about this? Suppose a person fills 1,000,000,000 very many worlds with 7 precious jewels and decorates it beautifully, builds a large temple for the Buddha, offers delicious food, and offers good clothes. Are there many karmic results of merit and virtue due to this? Subhuti replied, "That's right, Buddha. The merit and virtue resulting from that relationship are enormous." The Buddha told, "Yes, Subhuti, it brings much merit and virtue. Because much merit and virtue are the same as not much merit and virtue. If there really are much merit and virtue, the enlightened one would not say that there are much merit and virtue."
Chapter 20. A perfect form is the same as an imperfect form.
Subhuti. How about this? Can a person who possesses all perfect forms be called Tathagata? Subhuti replied, "No, Buddha, because the Buddha said that being perfectly formed is the same as not being perfectly formed. That's why it's called being perfectly formed." The Buddha told Subhuti, "Then, does Tathagata possess all the characteristics of the 32 forms of Tathagata?" Subhuti replied, "No, Buddha, it cannot be said that Tathagata has all 32 forms of Tathagata, because having all 32 forms is the same as not having all 32 forms. So, it's just that it's called the Buddha has all 32 forms."
Chapter 21. It's like saying something, but not saying it.
The Buddha told Subhuti, "Can Tathagata think that Dharma was presented by me?" Subhuti replied, "No, Buddha, Tathagata does not think that Dharma was presented by me." The Buddha told Subhuti, "If someone says Tathagata presented Dharma, he is lying and slandering me as something that does not exist. The reason is that when Dharma is presented, there is no definite Dharma for which Dharma can be presented." At that time, Subhuti asked the Buddha a question. "Buddha, when the future Dharma ending period comes and the righteous Dharma is destroyed, will there be any beings who hear such Dharma and arouse definite faith?" The Buddha told Subhuti, "Because Tathagata once said, a being is the same as non-being. Tathagata said a being."
Chapter 22. The meaning of gaining that which has nothing to gain.
How about this? Subhuti, is there really a certain Dharma that is firmly determined by the enlightenment of Tathagata? There is none, Buddha. There is no Dharma established by the Buddha. The Buddha told, "That's right, Subhuti. There is no fixed dharma that can be manifested there. So, it is called Anuttara, Samyak, Sambodhi, or supremely suitable, equal enlightenment.
Chapter 23. The meaning of Anuttara, Samyak Sambodhi.
This dharma has no high or low. It is equal without any differences. Therefore, it is called Anuttara, Samyak, Sambodhi. Since there is no fixed soul entity, Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi is realized through all suitable skillful means. Subhuti. It should be made clear that a suitable skillful means is the same as not suitable skillful means.
Chapter 24. Dharma almsgiving cannot be compared to wealth almsgiving.
Subhuti. Suppose that someone piled up 7 precious jewels, endlessly as large as the great Sumeru mountain, and offered them to the Tathagata, who explained Anuttara, Samyak, Sambodhi. And suppose that another bodhisattva wants to teach others with only the 4 phrases of the Diamond Sutra in this discourse. Subhuti. The karmic result of the former's merit and virtue is less than 1/100th of the karmic result of the latter's them.
Chapter 25. It is as if Buddha guided sentient beings to enlightenment, but did not lead them to enlightenment.
The Buddha told Subhuti. Could Tathagata think that all beings have been liberated by me? Subhuti. It should never be thought that way. Because there is no being liberated by Tathagata. If Tathagata thinks there are beings who have been liberated by me, it is because attachment to the entity of one's own soul has occurred. Subhuti. Tathagata has explained that attachment to the entity of the soul is the same as not attachment to the entity of the soul. Only foolish people cling to it. In reality, foolish people are like those who are not foolish.
Chapter 26. The body of truth is not revealed.
Subhuti. How about this? Is Tathagata shown in its complete form? No, Buddha. According to the Buddha's words, Tathagata is not seen as complete form. That's great, Subhuti. The reason for this is that if Tathagata is seen in its complete form, the king who spins the wheel of history also be seen as Tathagata. Therefore, it is impossible to see Tathagata by looking at the complete form. At that time, the Buddha told again If people seek me through form, or appearance, or seek me through sound or voice, it is futile. These people will not be able to see me. This is the third and most important verses of the Diamond Sutra. The Buddha continued to speak. Tathagata is only seen through Dharma. Because Tathagata takes Dharma as body, but Dharma appears without appearing, so it is unknowable. The reason is that Dharma cannot be recognized.
Chapter 27. Dharma is neither cut off nor destroyed.
Subhuti can Anattara Samyak Sambodhi be solidly enlightened by Tathagata with a complete form. Subhuti, it can't be like that. The reason is that Anattara Samyak Sambodhi cannot be solidly enlightened, even by Tathagata, of complete form. And Subhuti, those who seek enlightenment should not think that there is no Dharma, or that the Dharma disappears, because it is broken. Because anyone who has aroused the mind of Anattara Samyak Sambodhi knows that there is no basis for the absence of Dharma.
Chapter 28. A bodhisattva does not receive merit and virtue, nor does he covet them.
Subhuti, suppose a person fills worlds as innumerable as the grains of sand in the Ganges River with treasures, decorates them beautifully, and offers them to the Tathagata. And suppose there was a bodhisattva who knew that there was no entity of the soul, knew the Dharma of non-creation, or the Dharma of non-samsara, and practiced patience, and attained it. The karmic result of this bodhisattva's merit and virtue will be immeasurably and infinitely greater than the karmic results of the former's merit and virtue. And Subhuti, a bodhisattva should not have the thought of receiving the karmic result of merit and virtue. At that time, Subhuti spoke to the Buddha. Buddha, how can a bodhisattva not receive the karmic result of merit and virtue? The Buddha told, because receiving merit and virtue is the same as not receiving them. That's why it is said that a bodhisattvas do not receive merit and virtue. It's important, so let me explain. Because happiness is the same as not being happy, so it is happiness, has given an example. Here, between the two words, the emphasis is placed on happiness, which is close to enlightenment. If you compare receiving merit and virtue and not receiving them, you may get confused, because both seem like good intentions. However, receiving merit and virtue can cause attachment to the belief that one's soul entity exists. So, the Buddha said not to receive them, To guard against this. To sum it up, one more time, according to the logic of the Diamond Sutra, the Buddha teaches that not staying on the thought of receiving merit and virtue, nor on the thought of not receiving them, is what is called not receiving merit and virtue.